Can Shedeur Sanders overcome injury and prove he belongs in Cleveland's QB1 race? Shoulder soreness sidelines Sanders as preseason approaches. Shedeur Sanders' first NFL training camp was supposed to be about showing Cleveland's coaching staff he belongs at the center of the franchise's future plans. Instead, his rookie summer has taken an unexpected turn. On Saturday, the Browns announced that Sanders would miss practice because of shoulder soreness, placing the former Colorado Star's preseason trajectory in question. The injury is a disappointing twist for Sanders, who arrived in Cleveland surrounded by intrigue and curiosity after a turbulent draft experience. Once considered a likely early selection following an exceptional senior season at Colorado, where he completed 74% of his passes for 4,134 yards and 37 touchdowns, Sanders unexpectedly slid to the 5th round, where the Browns grabbed him with the 144th pick. A draft night slide sets up a bigger challenge. Few quarterbacks entered the 2025 NFL Draft with as much buzz as Sanders. Many analysts had him penciled in as a top 2 prospect behind Cam Ward, who ultimately went first overall to the Dolphins. Yet, as the draft unfolded, teams passed on Sanders again and again, forcing the 23-year-old to watch in frustration as others heard their names called. When the Browns finally selected Sanders, it was clear his arrival would add another layer of intrigue to an already crowded quarterback room. Cleveland's roster boasts 4 quarterbacks, including veteran Joe Flacco, recent acquisition Kenny Pickett, rookie Dillon Gabriel, and Sanders himself. The expectation is that Flacco and Pickett will lead the depth chart when the regular season arrives, but as training camp opened, the coaching staff was adamant that the battle for QB1 was still open. Injury put spotlight on Sanders' resilience. The news of Sanders' shoulder soreness could not have come at a worse time. With only a few weeks remaining until the Browns' preseason opener, missing practice representatives may reduce his chances to impress coaches and climb the depth chart. For Sanders, who thrived on consistency and leadership as a 4-year starter at Colorado, the uncertainty surrounding his health is just one more obstacle to overcome. Despite the setback, the Browns remain optimistic about Sanders' long-term potential. But with Joe Flacco providing experience and Kenny Pickett bringing a different dynamic, Sanders faces an uphill battle. The rookie's road to a roster spot could be determined by how quickly he recovers and how he responds once he is cleared to return. If the soreness lingers or if he misses critical preseason snaps, Sanders may find himself fighting just to remain on the 53-man roster, possibly as a developmental backup or practice squad candidate. Browns' long search for stability continues. For the Browns, the competition at quarterback has become an annual storyline. The franchise has cycled through starters at an almost unprecedented rate in recent decades. Sanders, with his high-profile college career and famous last name, was brought in to potentially disrupt the status quo. Now, that mission is at risk of stalling before it truly begins. As training camp continues, Cleveland fans and coaches alike will be watching to see if Sanders can bounce back from this setback, demonstrate his readiness, and reignite the intrigue that followed him throughout his college days. If he can, the Browns may have finally uncovered a young quarterback capable of changing the narrative. If not, his rookie season could become yet another lesson in the challenges of making it as an NFL quarterback. The buzz around Cleveland's training camp wasn't just about game plans or playbooks. It was about a name echoing through the dog pound with a mix of hope and uncertainty: Shedeur Sanders. The talented rookie quarterback had come into the Browns facility with the kind of star power few college athletes carry. Son of NFL legend Deion Sanders and a dual-threat maestro out of Colorado, Shedeur had arm strength, poise, and charisma. But on a humid Friday morning, just 3 weeks into training camp, everything paused. A hard hit during red zone drills left Shedeur limping off the field, clutching his right leg. The silence across the field was louder than a roaring crowd. What followed was immediate speculation. Was the injury serious? Would it sideline him for the season? Did this end his bid for QB1 before it even began? Doubt in the dog pound. Cleveland isn't known for its patience when it comes to quarterbacks. Fans have seen too many come and go. From first-round picks to undrafted longshots, the carousel spins endlessly. And now, Shedeur, once touted as a possible dark horse starter, found himself watching from the sideline as veterans Deshaun Watson, Dillon Gabriel, and others took representatives in his absence. The headlines came quickly. Shedeur's shot at QB1 slipping away. Cleveland can't wait. Can Shedeur keep up? It was unfair, perhaps. Injuries are part of the game. But Shedeur wasn't just fighting for playing time. He was fighting perception. Some still questioned whether his college stats translated to the NFL. Others wondered if he was handed opportunities because of his name, not his performance. But those who knew Shedeur knew better. "I'm not just my father's son." Speaking to reporters just days after his injury, Shedeur leaned into the mic with the same calm he showed on the field. "Look, I've been underestimated my whole life. People think because my dad's prime time, things have been handed to me. But nothing about this journey has been easy. If anything, I've had to fight harder to prove I belong." And he wasn't wrong. At Jackson State, he shattered records and broke expectations. At Colorado, he silenced critics with precision passing under pressure. Now, in Cleveland, the road was steeper, the stakes higher, and the spotlight brighter. The road to recovery. The injury turned out to be a mild MCL sprain, not season-ending, but enough to set him back 2 to 3 crucial weeks of training camp. While others took snaps, Shedeur took mental representatives. He showed up early, stayed late, studied film, and helped call plays from the sideline. Coaches noticed. So did teammates. Veteran wide receiver Amari Cooper told reporters, "Kid's got that fire. You don't teach that. Even injured, he's locked in like it's the Super Bowl." That says something. When Shedeur finally returned to practice, his representatives were limited, but sharp. A 25-yard bullet between 2 defenders. A perfectly placed fade to the corner of the end zone. His timing wasn't perfect, but his energy was undeniable. QB1. Or just QB ready. The Browns' quarterback battle is far from simple. Deshaun Watson remains the presumed starter, fully healthy and carrying a massive contract. Dillon Gabriel has quietly impressed coaches with his control and mobility. But Shedeur? He's the wild card. Coach Kevin Stefanski, when asked about the QB room, said, "We're evaluating everything. Nobody's guaranteed anything." Shedeur's time off didn't help him, but he's making up for it with how he's preparing.